We can go across to France 24's Nick Holdsworth standing by in Moscow for us. Nick, is there still a path to diplomacy given that Russia says it's unacceptable? A key demand on Ukraine was rejected by the United States.
Absolutely. The diplomatic door remains open. The Russian Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov said in response to those reports from the US and NATO delivered last night by the US ambassador here in Moscow, he said that though the main demands of the Russian side for the removal of NATO forces from some of their Eastern European bases and for Ukraine never to be a member of NATO, even though those have been rejected, second and third points had been addressed. As we've just heard there, the US is saying that they're willing to talk about other security concerns. Those might include negotiating a new INF treaty, that's the Intermediate and Short Range Nuclear Missile Treaty that for 30 years was in place, keeping Europe secure. That was scrapped by Donald Trump when he was president. The Russians weren't happy about that. They wanted to renew that treaty. So that could be addressed. However, the Kremlin spokesman has said today that dealing with such issues in isolation from Moscow's main concerns are not good enough. We kind of have two different views here. We have a good cop, the foreign minister, saying we will continue talking. He's going to be meeting with Antony Blinken soon again. And the bad cop, Dmitry Peskov, the spokesman for Vladimir Putin, saying, no, this is just not good enough. The reality is that the Russians could hardly expect a more positive response from the US and NATO, and nevertheless, they are a little bit disappointed, or perhaps a bit more than disappointed. That said, however, there are some signs of progress. There were those talks on the Normandy format, negotiations between Russia, France, Germany and Ukraine yesterday, held in Paris, talking about the Ukrainian situation, in which the Russian envoy reported back to tell Putin that the Ukrainian envoy had talked with his president, Volodymyr Zelensky, in Ukraine about the possibility of direct talks between Kiev and the breakaway regions of eastern Ukraine. That's a principal demand of the Minsk agreement, another agreement on trying to resolve that issue in Ukraine. That's something the Russians have long wanted, and the Ukrainians have been pushing back against that. Officially, they say that's not on the table. Apparently, that may be on the table. There may be room for the Ukrainians to compromise. So that's something which Putin is happy about. Overall, he's not at all happy about the rejection of the key demands, although,
Nick,
as I said, that could hardly have been expected, really, by Moscow.